Hey, this is Ron, and this is episode 123 of my Update podcast. Today's date is December 22nd. Does that mean this is the first day of winter? Yes, and the temperature is going to be about 60 today, plus a little rain. Well, let's get on with today's update. Tomorrow will be a week since I had my procedure done on my back. The thing's been driving me crazy. It itches, and the ends of the stitches stick out through my shirt sometimes and just aggravate me. I'll be truly happy when I get these stitches removed. I've not really done any physical activity since last Wednesday, and I think I've added about 5 pounds to my weight. So today I'm going to head out to the mountain and do some walking. I'm going to take my recorder with me and try to come up with some random thoughts to pass the time. Maybe I'll start developing my plan for the coming year. I need to get started so I have a running start, so to speak. I made it out to Stone Mountain this afternoon. It's still overcast and rainy looking, but I think it might be a good day for a walk. I put on my oldest pair of Hokas, my Bondi Bees, and a pair of shorts and my Ultimate Directions jacket, and I got my umbrella, and I'm fully equipped in case it rains. And I've got my little Olympus recorder with me today. It doesn't have the quality sound that my Zooms do, but I just like the size of it and the convenience. It's so small and lightweight and not bulky. I can just stick it in my pocket, and with a lapel mic I can just record without having to hold it in my hand, where my Zooms, both of them with the lapel mic, I have to hold them. Or even with, and if I didn't have a lapel mic on them, I'd have to hold them to talk into them. So this little Olympus works just fine. I think it's a WS801. I just ordered a newer version or a better version of this one. I ordered a WS860 or 73 or 63 something, in that one of those higher numbers, which is supposed to have a better fidelity sound and all that sort of thing. Plus it's got, I think, about 8 gig of memory in it, so you don't have to worry about running out of recording space. So this is the 22nd, and my next race is going to be January 1st, and I haven't run since the 16th. The 16th when I got my back operated on. Today is the first day I've been out since I got my back operated on. I plan to walk probably the rest of this week. Maybe Saturday or Sunday I might go out and run a little bit, try to get a couple miles in. I've been mulling over all these different training ideas that I have. I like Galloway's run walk, and I do that anyway, but it's kind of a modified thing, because I also like Phil Maffetone's heart rate training. And with his heart rate training right now, with my age and level of fitness, my daily run, my maximum heart rate for a MAF run would be 121, and the low would be a 111. So you keep it in that range. So what I do is I run up to 121, and then I walk down to 111, or maybe 115, depending on, what mood I'm in. And that seems to work pretty good, and it's still a run-walk type thing, but it's just not based on so many seconds, like run 30 seconds, walk 15. It's run till your heart rate gets to 121, walk till it goes back down, which I like doing because I don't have to pay much attention to my beeper, because my Garmin, when I go above my heart rate range, will vibrate and beep. So then I don't have to pay much attention because it vibrates on my wrist, and I can switch right from running to walking or walking to running. So I like doing that. So I think that's going to be my strategy going forward. As far as race training or training for races, this spring up to the summer, I plan on doing mostly trail races or short road races. So I figure I'll try to train distance-wise or time-wise to be able to run a decent 10K. And if I can do that, I'll be happy. But it'll all be based on maffetone and time instead of distance. So on a weekly run, and this is pretty much what I was doing prior to the Galloway half, was I was running 45 minutes twice a week, and then running a long run. So I was really only getting in 3 days of running a week doing that. And doing that little bit of training, I was still, I ran a 2:32, which isn't a great time, but based on how much training I'd been doing, I didn't think it was that bad. Plus I ended up getting third in my age group. Can't beat that unless you get second or first. So I think I'm going to stick with the time. I think I'll go to 4 days a week instead of 3 days a week. So I'll have something like either 3 45-minute runs or 3 hour runs, and then on a weekend have a long run in the 1.5 to 2 hour range. And that ought to work pretty decent for me, And I'm going to keep that particular type of training up probably up to Peachtree at least. And then once Peachtree's over, I'll switch to training for half marathon. Like I mentioned in one of my earlier Lost Trail Runner podcasts, this is Ron's Update, but my Lost Trail Runner podcast, I had mentioned there's a section of the Appalachian Trail up in North Georgia I'd like to run. So I might try to do that on one of my long runs on one weekend. If I can con Laura into running with me, or find somebody else to run with me, because I don't want to do it by myself. But anyway, that'd be the only adventure I'll have as far as during my training. But I think that's only like a 10-mile section, 10 to 12, in that range. It's just that it's Appalachian Trail, and that section, my son Ryan, he hiked from Springer Mountain up into close to the Tennessee border. He got in between 80 and 90 miles a couple of summers ago before he got an infected foot toenail and had to quit. But he said that section between Woody Gap and up Blood Mountain to what's that other gap? I always know the gap's name until I want to talk about it, and then I forget it. Oh yeah, I just remembered what it is. It's Woody's Gap to Neal's Gap on the Appalachian Trail. That's what I want to run. But anyway, that section, he said, the big uphill is going up to Blood Mountain near the end, so it should be all right. But I just want to go with somebody. Well, that's about enough for Ron's update, don't you think? I'll put this in a can and get this one out, and we'll do another one next week, maybe. I'll see ya. I wanted to let you know that I have a SpeakPipe widget on my website. The widget can be used to call in and leave comments about the podcast. I'll put the link in the show notes of the podcast. I also have an email address if you want to send me a comment via email. It's ron@losttrailrunner.com.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. We'll be here next time. Keep the emails coming in and be sure to subscribe.